All right, so now we're going to move on to the DoublyLinkedList class. Now, the DoublyLinkedList isn't too much harder than the singly linked list. It's not twice as hard. However, there are just some extra variables that we do need to keep track of. But otherwise, it's going to look very much the same, and we can copy-paste some of the constructors over. So first off, a doubly linked list of E. The big difference here is that we are going to have our private static class, just as before, private static, node E, all right, class, just as before, inside here, and it will have e data, all right, private e data, private node e next, but it's also going to have a private node e previous, which means that we're going to point in the opposite direction as well. Now, interesting to note, the reason that I have this as a private class is that I can have it in the same project as the linked list class, and they now both have their own different node class that they just use internally just for them. So that way I don't have to do something like a doubly linked list node and a singly linked list node, which would be rather annoying and get old very quickly. So now let's set up the instance variables over here. We need private node e head, private. We're also going to do a private node e tail, and a private, of course, int size. So notice that really what we've done is that we've added and we've added for our node a previous field, which will point in reverse, and we've added a tail, which will basically keep track of the last node in the list. So now our linked lists are going to look something like this. No idea why I'm yawning. Should be like sweating instead, because it's like that super hot day. You know, super hot. But suffice to say, the top will be the nexts. That's the way I'll run it. And then the bottom will be the previous's. So this is what it's going to look like from now on. So heads, .next is this node, .next is this node, .next is this node, and his tail, and the tail has a .previous. All these have previouss. So we can go next, prev, next, prev, next, prev, prev. So you can go back and forth. That's how this one will work. Really add and remove work the same, except that we now have two more cases to account for the tail. And also we have, so we have two more cases that we'll be using to account for the tail. And we'll be having to move twice as many pointers when we add or remove something, because we have to take into account the remove, the previous. All right. So we might as well just jump right into it.